Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am Crispy and today we are back on my fall island of Mosshaven. So this island is part of Crossing Maniac's Halloween challenge. It's a 3-month design challenge in which you can pick builds from the fall list or from the Halloween list, or you can mix it up and choose both. And so that is what I'm doing. I'm doing builds from both fall and Halloween. And so the details to that challenge, if you want to join, will be in the description below. This island's also part of Kaylee Games' Friendsgiving collaboration. It's a community collaboration that a lot of people are doing for fall. And there's like 6 builds that you do, and you make your house like a certain, design. I'm probably going to do a cozy cottage for mine, but the link to the details to that is also going to be in the description below. Last time we worked on the museum, and I did fill in some of this transition area, we worked on resident services and on the Able Sisters. This week I need to fill in the campsite area because that will be next. And then I want to work on some villager yards. I have my purple villagers here, and I've already recustomized their houses. I did the interiors of some, but I did not get all of them done because interiors are just not my favorite. But this is Static in front of me, and his and Sydney's houses came out like almost exactly the same other than a roof, so I may have to go back and change those a little bit more. I don't know. But I also have my orange villagers over here. I want to put my outdoor feast, which is required for the Friendsgiving collaboration. I want to put that out here in front of my orange villager yards. I made Teddy's exterior a little bit different than Pudge and Bows. I don't know, maybe I should have kept it the same because these two are the same, or maybe I should have made this Teddy's house and put Bo over here. I don't know, I second guessed myself, but I would really love to get to this area today. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but it's October already and I'm ready to kind of speed run this island and get it finished, so we will see. I might do 2 videos this week from this island just because I want to get it done by Halloween, so we will see how it goes. But I'm just gonna start filling in this area here off camera. It's just a transition area. It'll be trees, bushes, and flowers, and so I'm gonna start on that, and then I will bring you guys in when we start on these yards. I am thinking like some Halloween candy trick or treat in areas outside their yards, and try to make it as purple as possible. We'll see how it goes, and yeah, let's get started. Alright, so like I said, I did go ahead and fill in all of the campsite area off camera, and I will show that in the final walkthrough. But like the cliffs behind these houses I did off camera, and a lot of the filler work I did off camera. I showed a little bit of it around the outdoor feast, which I did get to, but you can kind of see where I filled in down there by the campsite. I need to amiibo someone in so that the campsite is up so it looks better. I just like it when the campsite is up. But I'm just working on my purple villager yards, so I gave them each like a Moroccan table and footrest because they're like the only purple tables that I know of in the game. And I tried to keep their yards like as having as much purple as possible. And I gave them the little spooky lantern set with the spooky treats baskets, and I thought that it turned out really cute, and they were a lot easier to do than the orange villagers just because I couldn't decide what spooky treats baskets to use for the orange villagers. I could have used the same ones, but I wanted to try to make them all a little bit different. So I started out using like the yellow ones for the orange villager yards, but then I ended up coming back and changing them for the green because the yellow one has a lot of pink in it and is very pastel. So I just thought that maybe the green went a little bit better, but I wasn't sure what to put on this left side here. I tried a few trees, I tried a large one and a medium one, and it was just covering up too much of the build. So I ended up taking it out. I just couldn't get the tree over anymore because of the ledge. So I didn't want to cover up like the spooky treats basket and stuff, you know, because I had placed that specifically for the Halloween challenge. You're supposed to have either a potluck item if you're doing a fall island, or you're supposed to have a Halloween item if you're doing a Halloween island. And so since I'm doing the mix it up option, I have chosen to put a spooky Halloween item in there and also a potluck item in all of the villager yards. So I wanted to make sure you could see the spooky treats basket. So I ended up switching it out for the garden wagon here, and I thought that it matched all of the colors really well and I liked it a lot better. And so yeah, I didn't end up putting a tree after all. So that was okay. I sometimes forget that they have that color variation, but I do love the garden wagon so much. It's actually my favorite item in the game. I love it so much. It's kind of a hard DIY to get sometimes when I'm trying to get DIYs like authentically and, you know, on my own, like just finding my bottles on the beach and like villagers crafting and stuff like that. It can be a hard DIY to find sometimes. I know I struggled finding that one in hard mode when I was doing hard mode, but it is one of my favorite items. I love it so much. But I did put the spooky cookies and a spooky table setting on these little tables. Those were like two of the only items in the game that I could find that had purple on them. So I thought it was fitting, but it's really hard finding purple items. I was trying to do their interiors and I was trying to make them as purple as possible, and it's a struggle. Anybody who has done the one color challenge and done a purple island, props to you, because it is hard. There is not a lot of purple in this game. There's just not a lot of purple items. So I lined my cliff's edges with the fences and the bushes like I like to do, and I had put this pillar down and the bush behind it, but I thought, you know, the pillar's taller, it should go in the back, so I did switch those out. But I just tried to get as much of this island done as I possibly could today. I am trying to just get it knocked out because I don't want this island going on too long. I know it's not due technically until the end of November, but I have a winter island challenge that is going to come out, and so I want to make sure that I get this island done and all posted so that I can bring out my winter challenge, because I'm very excited to bring that out. But now I am starting on the purple villager yards, and you can see I used the yellow version of the spooky treats basket, and this is for Pudge and Bo here. I gave them a table in the middle, and I used the simple wooden table like I had done for Static. And then I just put some of the potluck items on the table. I just grabbed a pie, and I tried to give Pudge and Bo like their own separate pie, and then do something a little bit different for Teddy. And so I ended up putting like a sea bass pie for Teddy's, well, the table beside Teddy's house. And so I don't know who shares what table, but I just tried to make them a little bit different. And I put these little spooky towers in the back corners because I thought it filled up the space nicely and it would be a cute yard decoration. But they are all ready for the potluck. And so yeah, this food has not been out all day. Don't worry about it. They just brought it out and they're just about to eat it, so it's fine. That's what I like to tell myself with all of the food that's out on islands. You know, it's a game. It's not realistic. So it can sit there and smoke, you know, and steam from being hot all day long. I find it funny because on my winter island, I have some food that's been sitting outside on the ground for like days and it's still steaming hot. So I find it funny. But now I'm working on the outdoor feast. Yay! I was so excited to do this build. And I decided to turn the tables sideways instead of long ways so that I could put the bigger items in the back, like the Turkey Day decorations and the cornucopia. And I was being very indecisive with this build, so I did switch items out a lot. I wasn't sure where to put what food items, and I just grabbed a whole bunch. So I do switch them out a bit, but I do like it now that it's done. I was just being very indecisive at the moment. I was so tired in this build. It's been hard to sleep with my husband out of town, so I was very tired and being very indecisive and pushing all the wrong buttons, like show it off instead of place. So that was a thing. I struggled a bit, but I did get it done, so I'm happy about that. I used a few different chair options. I used the Turkey Day chair, I used the wooden stool, and the ranch chair. And then I also ended up bringing in the iron garden chair in the rust color because I really like how the browns match. So that is what I did, but I just grabbed a lot of the Turkey Day food recipes that you make and a lot of different pies and cakes, and I put some stalls up and I just tried to, you know, make it as big and full of food as possible. And yeah, I think it turned out really cute. It was a bit of a struggle just remembering, you know, that I should place the items on the barrels and all of the, you know, tables and stuff before I put them into place, because otherwise I have to move them to get them, you know, to get to them, I should say. I had to move this box so that I could get behind it. And so yeah, I forget sometimes what order I should be placing things. But I have been excited about this build since it was on the, you know, list of the Friendsgiving builds that we should do, and I didn't know at first where I was going to put it, but once I had everything terraformed and all my villagers into place, I knew there was this big area right here and that it would, you know, fit here really nicely. And so I have been so excited about it and ready to do it. I wish I wasn't so tired during this build, because then I could have, you know, done it a little more efficiently without having to cut so much of my indecisiveness out. But I got it done, so I just tried to use a lot of the items that, would be at a big outdoor feast, like the bread and the pies and the casseroles and stuff. So just looking at all of this food makes me really hungry. Yeah, a lot of the food in the game does look good and makes me hungry, but I did, put some of the jarred items on the barrels, and I didn't know what else to put in the last little spot, so I put one of the Spooky Day lanterns turned around. But I thought it turned out really cute. I love the Turkey Day items so much. Those recipes are some that are my favorite in the game, so I was very happy to be able to use them. I don't always use them because they don't always match my theme, but they're perfect for this island, so I was very excited to use them. But now I'm just going to attempt to fill in the rest of the space. I did struggle with just getting my different trees layered and putting down some of the other items, and I struggled filling in some of the space, but I managed to get there in the end. And so I did cut out a lot of the filling in the space, but I left in a little bit of it just because it was around the outdoor feast. And, sometimes people struggle with filler areas. I mean, I struggle a bit with deciding what flowers to place. I struggle with the size of my glowing moss because I don't like the big glowing moss. You know what's great about a winter island? You don't have to worry about placing gigantic glowing moss. And it is fantastic. I guess they don't have a big gigantic version of the glowing moss for the winter, and so that is fantastic. I don't have to sit there and try to place the same piece of glowing moss like 4 times. So if you notice a jump, it's probably because I'm fighting glowing moss or I'm switching out a tree or a flower like 4 times in a row, because sometimes I leave it if it's only once or twice. But when I am sitting there struggling for like, I don't know how many seconds in a row, placing the same item over and over, yeah, I tend to cut that out. I did go back and switch out one of the mush parasols for the orange version, just because I had quite a few in this area, and it was starting to look a little bit repetitive, so I brought in a different color. I also switched out the large hardwood tree, just because I thought that the larger one looked like it covered up a little bit too much of the build. So I did switch that out. But yeah, the rest of it was just mostly placing trees and bushes and flowers, and I decided to put a little farm over here on the right side of this outdoor feast because I wasn't sure that at first I was just gonna do like a windy path leading down to my house, and I was just gonna fill the space around the path with a whole bunch of trees and bushes and flowers, but I decided that maybe a farm would look cute and make sense by, the villager yards and this outdoor feast. Maybe a farm would be cute, so I did put a little farm, and I ended up putting it like vertically. Sometimes I put the rows, well, a lot of times I put the rows horizontally, and this time I decided to do vertically. I don't know why, but I just decided maybe vertical would be cute, and so I did a vertical farm, and then I wasn't sure whether or not I liked it, but I switched out the fence as well because I had originally, you'll see in a second, I had the simple wooden fence and like the orange looking version, and I just thought that the barbed wire fence would make more sense by a farm, or around a farm I should say. So I did switch the fence out, but there's a lot of space on the side here, so you know, I did leave in some of this filler in here just because, you know, some people might struggle to fill in the space, and sometimes I do too. But if you just keep, you know, just keep trying and, you know, use a lot of natural decor like bushes and flowers and trees, it does, you know, end up working out and you can fill in the whole area. I do want to put a rock garden on this island, so I am making sure that I fill in every tile. I am a no tile left behind girly. I did have to time travel back in the day as well because it was getting so bright. This island looks best in the early morning. But now I am finally working on the farm area, so I just put in some of the in-game pathing for the rows of the crops, and then I will come in with the fence and the bushes and the crops. I decided to use carrots, potatoes, and wheat because I thought that it matched my color scheme pretty well. And so now you can see the fence that I'm using. I do switch that out for the barbed wire fence instead. Sometimes I do use a simple wooden fence for a farm, but in this case on this island I'm just trying to go a little bit more rustic since it is Mosshaven, and more of a, you know, old school, old town vibe, small country town vibe, I guess you could say. So I just thought, you know, in real life, all of the farms around here, they have barbed wire fence around them, you know? So it was more realistic. So it is a little bit long and skinny though, so I don't know, maybe it would have looked better if I had made it one more wide or one less long, I guess. I don't know. I tend to do a 3x3 farm, and for some reason this time I did 4x3. I can't tell you why, because I don't know, but I just put some farming items on the outside like the stacked bags and the little potted plants and the hand cart, and I thought it turned out really cute and it filled in the space nicely. I'm just not sure about the size of the farm and yeah, just not sure about that. But anyways, now I'm just going to fill in the rest of the space around this area. I just wanted to get it all the way down to where my house is, so that all of this area was done, because I wanted to get a good photo for the thumbnail of the outdoor feast. And so if there's a lot of blank space in the thumbnail, it really doesn't make a lot of sense, you know. So I wanted to try to get this whole area done. And so a lot of this on the outside was filler, but it was necessary to fill it all in. So I'm just wondering what you guys are doing on your islands right now. Are you doing Halloween islands or fall islands right now? And what you're working on, what you're building. I know that some people are working on the Friendsgiving collaboration, and some people are working on the Halloween challenge. So I'm just wondering what builds you're working on at the moment and what islands you're doing. I know a lot of people love to do fall islands, and I love to do fall islands as well. Fall is probably my favorite time in the game because the mushroom DIYs are like my favorite in the game. I love mushrooms so much. So I think that's why mushroom season is my favorite season in the game. And I love the DIYs so much. A lot of the fall DIYs are just my favorites in the game, and I try to get them and use them on a lot of my islands, whether it's fairy core or fall, or even on my DIY only island. I use a lot of the mush items like the parasols, and I love the glowing moss items as well, and I used a lot of those on my DIY only island as well. I use a lot of glowing moss items and mushroom items on my islands because they're my favorite. But I did finish filling in a lot of this area off camera, but I got most of it, on camera. Just a little bit of the filling in the space I did off camera because I know it was getting a little bit repetitive. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are, and I hope you're still enjoying Animal Crossing. We are getting close to being finished with this island. I've got to decorate in front of my house and do the green villager yards, and then I think the only thing left really after that is just doing a rock garden. So I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 more videos and we can be finished with this island, but I am really enjoying it. I hope you guys are too, and I hope that you enjoyed the build and you're still enjoying Animal Crossing. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much to all of my members. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm almost finished with my members island as well, so there will be an island tour for everyone to see how that came out, and I think we're going to be starting an Alice in Wonderland island very soon for my members. So I'm super excited about that. They voted on it. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. And we are back, and I have my helper here.
Hello.
You ready to see it?
Yeah.
I did a lot today. So we worked on the campsite area. So I didn't amiibo anybody in, but it was just a very small area, so I filled in all the space with just a bunch of natural decor, and then I put kids' tent on this side with a little campfire cookware.
What's in the cookware?
We'll never know, you know?
Bruh.
They're making...
It's gonna be burnt.
It's fine. And then this is my purple villager yards up here. So I gave them each a little spooky treats basket, and they have a little purple table with some spooky cookies and the spooky table setting. I couldn't remember the name of that.
Trick or treat.
And then I filled in all of the space, like on the cliffs behind and beside, like off camera, even this cliff in front here. And I don't know why Yuka's over here. Maybe she's jelly of the orange villager yards. But this is Pudge and Bo's house. And then we have Teddy over here. And then we did the outdoor feast.
That's a lot of food.
It is.
All for me.
All for you?
Yeah.
He loves food just as much as his mama.
Yeah.
But I just tried to put as many like food items as I could that looked, you know, fall and feast. Some of the Turkey Day recipes.
Is that pumpkin pie?
Yes. He loves pumpkin pie.
Is that chicken pot pie?
We can say that, sure.
What is it?
It's like a bread-filled something.
Okay.
But and then I put a farm over here. I do think it looks better with the barbed wire fence around it, but it might be one too long. Maybe I should take out a row. I don't know. It looks kind of long and weird.
Don't get rid of a row, then you wouldn't have enough to make French fries.
Okay.
With the potatoes.
And then I stopped here at my house. So we have this area in front of my house left to do, and then I have my green village yards. Oh look, the sad flower. So I have a Murphy up here, and I didn't put Nibbles over here because it would have blocked the walkway going back, but I did put her down here in front of Abel's sisters. And then over here we have our frog villagers, which is Henry and Tad, and I'm going to try to terraform a lily pad pond, a smaller version here. We'll see how that goes.
Alright.
So this is all we have left to do on the whole island, and I'm hoping I can get my rock garden in here.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can get most of that or all of it done next time. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, you ready to say bye?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Why is that so funny?
I don't know.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.